This is a special announcement. We are heading to RSAC conference in San Francisco for our 11th years of coverage, April 28, May 1st.
And as always, we'll bring you keynotes, conversations with organizers, speakers, industry leaders, plus the latest insights from the world of cybersecurity.
And we'll reconnect with old friends, meet new ones, and of course, we want you and your company to join us.
We have a few spots left for full sponsorship and our on-location briefings. You can book yours now at itspmagazine.com/RSAC.
We're going.
And you're coming with us. Marco.
Sean.
Go ahead. You do it. I'll do the honor.
No, I'll ask you a question and then you do the noise. You're better at noises than me.
I'm better than
Have you ever gone to San Francisco with a train?
I've not been, actually, not San Francisco. I've been to San Diego on a train.
That's a long trip anyway.
It is a long trip.
Trains are not that good around here, not like Europe. But apparently, there's going to be a train in San Francisco.
I know.
So go ahead.
Not
do the choo-choo.
Choo-choo. No, I'm not. That's
we
bad.
actually
That's
like to call it more like a cable car, and there's a bell. Bing.
Oh, that kind of train. Okay. All righty. Okay.
Yes, some track anyway. Something's being pulled on, but life doesn't always have tracks, Marco, and that's where things get fun, and that's why we have a group of people, a community of folks that come together. Cecilia and Linda and Britta and everybody else brings the community together so we can understand where the tracks are and how we can keep things running on the tracks from a cyber perspective. And that's for RSAC conference 2025 in San Francisco. We're on our way up. We're not going to take the train no more. I think
we're going to drive. Right. After a few years of just taking the plane, we're going to do the old school drive together. We're going to probably stop somewhere, film the way we've always done, maybe on a beach, maybe on a field, and just get the excitement going. So we just like to improvise. No tracks for us, but there are tracks, like we said. So Cecilia, it's so good to see you. It's a tradition, and we are happy we're keeping this tradition going. So share the excitement with us, what we're looking for when we get there. But let's start with, who is Cecilia?
That's a great question. Very existential.
You don't have to get
but I'll just go into the more. I'll just give you my title. So right now I am the Vice President of Innovation and Scholars at the RSAC conference. It's very exciting. This year is going to be an amazing conference for innovation. So can't wait to talk to you guys about it.
We can't wait to hear it.
I know. So innovation. Can you start off with like the big picture? So there's all the parts that kind of make up what you look after.
Sure. So this year happens to be the 20th anniversary of the Innovation Sandbox, which is where it all started. So when I think of our innovation platform, I think of it as like a ripple effect coming out, or a bullseye. And in the center is this really important piece. It's called the Innovation Sandbox contest. That happens on Monday. And after that, we have the Early Stage Expo, which is an exhibition floor for startups. And then we have LaunchPad, which is a competition for very early seed startups. And then this year, we're just adding the Investors and Entrepreneur track, because you guys like to talk about tracks. This track is now getting more robust so that we can actually really serve this community. So that's the platform right now for innovation, just the innovation for cybersecurity.
Love it. And forgive me, but do you also still look after College Day and security scholars and that stuff too?
I do. So the other two pieces that I oversee are the Sandbox, which I am also very excited to talk about, again, leaning into the train, which I'll come back to. I'm going to give a cliffhanger here. And the other piece is for the scholars, which again is looking at the future. Who are the future cyber warriors? So we do two different offerings for college students. One is called the Security Scholar Program. It's kind of like a TED Fellows. We bring the students in, we give them a curated experience. And the second is College Day, which is a free full conference pass for all students. Anybody that's out there is welcome to join us and to really start to understand and engage in the conversation around cybersecurity, learn more about what we're doing. And that happens on May 1st. So everybody gets in there. It's a free full conference pass. You just have to sign up.
Very cool. I don't know. When you were going through everything that you're going to be talking about there and having there, you said a lot of then and then and then and then, and it feels like every year it's always I was like, wow, this year RSA was really really cool, and then you guys show up and say, hold on, we're gonna make it cooler. So what is that thing that you feel like this year you're really, really, really excited? I know you're excited about everything you do, and that's
I know.
beautiful. That's passion, and I
Thank
I
you,
can see
Marco,
that.
for
But
recognizing
that
it.
one thing like that, oh my god, this is awesome.
So I'm going to lean into the Innovation Sandbox contest because this is so important to the industry. So there's two important aspects of it. Aside from 20 years of us identifying, and not us, the community identifying, adjudicating, and selecting companies that are going to actually change the industry over the next 12 months after they're on our stage. It also happens to be a time when we're going to have $50 million that is going into these companies. So Crosspoint Capital, who owns RSAC, is offering $5 million is investing $5 million into each of the cybersecurity startups that will be on the stage. And that to me is really reflective of a way to offer democratization of opportunity for a lot of the startups. So this way they now have money and cash to go out there and start to actually make a difference in the industry. So it's a really important piece. And the other thing that we did this year is we added a sixth judge, which is kind of crazy because we have 5 strong judges. They all represent different aspects of the community, whether they're the CISO, which is like the buyer, they're the CTO, which is somebody that's working in a security company that evaluates other companies that might be going into their stack, whether it's somebody like Chris Young who works for Microsoft and might be looking for acquisitions in the future or investments in the future for them. Or actually, he just left Microsoft, but he was at Microsoft. And then we just added a new gentleman named David Chen, and David comes from Morgan Stanley, and he's a banker, and he's helped a lot of the companies who want to move from their private, venture capital out to an IPO status, for example. And he just helped out with the Wiz deal, in fact. Or Morgan Stanley helped out with that Wiz deal with being bought by Google. Wiz was also on our stage. So the one part that's really important is just to look at the impressive list of previous ISB participants. But this year, I think it's really interesting as well. They have a really very diverse group. There are quite a lot that are focused in on AI, of course, AI security, whether it's offense or defense. Or just keeping AI secure. But it's also like there's some really different ones. There's one that's talking about security in uh, in in satellites and in medical devices and firmware and hardware. You have another one that's talking about the security in. Let me look over here at my little list of people. Small Step does security in devices. So we have like 8 companies that are really focused in on AI. But there's some other companies that are sprinkled in that are still working on some either really hard problems we haven't been able to solve, or some of the problems that are still coming out there for tomorrow, which is like talking about satellite security. So very exciting. I'm on the Innovation Sandbox contest 20th anniversary. It's going to be a huge event. Definitely come.
So that news just came out the other day.
Yeah,
Do you want to list them all just to give them
sure.
all a little love?
I have them right here next to me,
All
and I
right,
would
look at
love
that.
to do that. So Orascape is like I think they're really working on generative AI, of course. Calypso AI is also looking at application agents through interference platforms, protecting AI at runtime with customizable. Listen to this. I'm just pulling it right off of the press release. Defensive controls. Command Zero is autonomous AI assisted investigation platform. Equity Labs is pioneer solutions that accelerate trust in AI. I know that they're working really interesting stuff. You should definitely be checking them out. Gnostic provides the need to know access for those AI tools so that you know that your company is secure there. You have Metalware, which is the one I was speaking about that was talking about using fuzzing techniques, automating fuzzing techniques to look at firmware. Then you have Mind, which is a data security platform and data loss prevention. Again, DLP, super important pieces. Project Discovery, which is also super unique because it's open source. And now they're moving it into, it's like HashiCorp, but it's for security. Definitely somebody to pay attention to. Small Step, as I mentioned, is the one that is talking about devices, securing devices. This has been a problem forever. They're coming about it with a new approach. And Twine Security finishes us out with AI digital employees who task from A to Z to help their cyber teams close the talent gap. So a really strong slate of cybersecurity companies that are helping us think about how to protect ourselves in the future.
Yep, super cool. Remind us how the program works. So they each take the stage. They're up there how long? How do they get judged? Who gets picked? How does the winner get picked?
So, this is completely adjudicated by the cybersecurity community. Those 6 judges I mentioned before, they're the ones that actually went through and combed through the tons of applications that we got this year to select these 10. And it was really steep competition. What will happen now that the 10 are identified is we'll prep them, and then they will have to go on stage, and they'll come in front of you, and they have 3 minutes to actually share their story in front of these esteemed judges. And afterwards, there's about a 3-minute, very loose Q&A that happens with the judges. And when I say loose, I mean the timing is loose. The 3 minutes on the pitch is very serious. Like there's this horrendous buzzer that comes out at the end if you don't make it in time. So everybody can watch on the clock and see the time ticking down for these poor people, and they can see it themselves.
Do you play the music?
Yes,
like
no, they
All-Star?
buzzer, man. It sounds like when you are at a basketball game and they shoot a hoop and it goes in and it's like, it's really loud. So it's hard, but so it's super fun, very fast, very quick. You get a lot of information in a very short period of time. And there is music, Marco. Don't worry. There's some cool lights. The whole room is set up. It feels good.
Good. No, I know. The thing I keep repeating all the time. It's about the community, and there is the excitement to meet there, to do things, and what is crazy is that, again, you guys this year, and I'm gonna get in that track direction, is that you're actually expanding even more. I mean, you took over pretty much. We made a joke the other day when we were talking with Linda and Britta that there's going to be a block party really soon and blocking the entire area for
That's
you guys.
Our goal, Marco. That's our future. You're with us. Come on, let's party down over there.
I am on, absolutely. But I'm really excited about this DARPA thing. I got to call it thing. You tell us what it is.
Okay. So as you mentioned, we spread ourselves out to a little bit broader campus this year. We're going to be at the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts. And there is going to be this activity and experience that DARPA is bringing called the AI Cyber City, AIX-CC. And this is something that is has to go to. You have to go to it. It's not to miss, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you to understand how cybersecurity actually enters into your life in all different places. And how you get there is you have to actually take a physical little, like they have built a little train, and you go in there and you're moving around like you're on a train track, and they're getting you ready to get into the cyber city. So they have you passing, they have monitors on the side, and you're passing, and they bring you into this like makeup city called Northbridge City, excuse me. And then you walk into the space, and they have laid out a different campus here for RSAC, which includes like an area that is on energy. And so you're going to get the entire water plant, and you're going to hear about how AI is happening in Cyber City. Then you're going to walk over to this other area that's a medical area. They're going to have people in doctors' uniforms and proctoring the situation and giving you some feedback and letting you try these different pieces. And their goal is to help us all understand, or how to actually get even better at applying AI into many situations that we all need it for, but we all have to do it securely. And so they built this contest. It's 2 years old. It's they're giving away $20 million on it. They're down to 4 teams, I believe. And while you're walking through there, you will actually learn a little bit more about what is the competition, because that's DARPA's thing. It's like they're trying to get like the X Prize to help us go further than we ever thought possible in the shortest amount of time. And that's what you'll get to experience in that space. It's so cool.
So Marco's going to get on the train first, I think. He's in the front.
I'm going to Hogwarts, like I told you.
Hogwarts. Well, I mean, and we were kind of joking offline that I think they're coming out with email as well. while we're there. We're going to announce that. But,
They're going to announce it.
So what else is in the YBCA space, more than just DARPA, is that right?
Yes. So actually, if you've ever been to conference before and you've gone to our sandbox, that's where we're locating it. It's going to be on the bottom floor. We're including an adjacent room where we're having CTFs running the entire week. So you can come check those out. They'll all be on the track sessions, Marco, you and your tracks. Upstairs, we have the Idaho National Labs is doing an escape room. And additionally, we have a screening room where we're going to have really a little bit more technical talks in general, but a very cool experience for those that want to go up there. I know we've also bringing in Usenix's distinguished papers, so that will also be in that area. And just as a reminder, it's adjacent and connected to the YBCA Theater, which is where we're having our second keynote stage. So all of those pieces are together, they're enmeshed, and hopefully everybody gets to enjoy it. Additionally, we have a really cool coffee bar in there and some hangout zones, some chairs. So come play in the sandbox.
I want to stay there actually because, always about the community and the networking. I know that there are dedicated area for the people that have been there, like us, way more than one time, the loyalty plus group. But there's also attention to all the one that comes for the first time. And I think
Right.
that's something super important because honestly, it may sound a little overwhelming, especially the more it expands and like, oh my God, I can't do many things at the same times. How do I plan and how do I interact with other people, networking? And I know that you're really good at creating this different space, but let's give some tips to people that come there for the first time.
That is actually really thoughtful, Marco. What I'll say is, what we've built inside the sandbox, which I didn't actually get into the villages that are in there. So if any of you are familiar with DEF CON and the villages, that's what's going to be in the sandbox area. If you keep walking through the room where we have those sandboxes, and there are 8 of them, and they include AppSec and Adversary and ICS and IoT and all the others that you can find online. Very cool. I mean, honestly, this is part, and you talk about community. There are usually around 80 volunteers that help run that whole space, and it's unbelievable the give back that they have in there. So definitely stop by because it's hands-on and you can have a conversation. You talked about networking. It's a way that you can actually talk to somebody pretty easily. You know exactly what they're going to be looking at when you walk into Cloud Sandbox and you're like, oh yeah, the Cloud Village, I get that. But beyond that, if you keep walking through, there's this whole outside garden area that we've put some nice furniture on so you can get some peaceful areas. There's another little space that's kind of quiet, that's peaceful next to the coffee bar. So there's those like more like hangout spaces that are over there. But there are other places of networking inside the conference itself. I'm sure that they've talked about some of the welcome receptions, but the one that I want to mention is CyberOps, which is now just going to be up there in the Early Stage Expo area. We expanded that area, so now we have 78 startups that are up there. And there's 2 briefing centers, but there's again a coffee bar because I'm very into coffee bars and having a coffee with everybody. But CyberOps has non-alcoholic and alcoholic beverages, and it will have some food. So come by and see that on Tuesday night.
Well, you got me with the food. You got me with the coffee, but
I'm so glad.
I have far too much coffee. You're going to need a lot of coffee keeping all this together. What else is going on? Cecilia, what else are you looking at for that week?
The one thing I want to actually just mention in addition is LaunchPad. Now, LaunchPad has 3 veterans VCs, one from Ballistic Ventures, which is Barmak Mefta. The other is Sarah Gao. She's with Conviction, but she was at Greylock before. And then there's Enrique Salem, who's with Bain Capital Ventures. All 3 of these are stellar individuals, super fun. And they were going to run this, it's like a Shark Tank. The 3 companies that were just announced today, or whenever you play this, it's announced on Friday. Blue 41, Run Sybil, and the Hacking Games. All 3 super interesting, very nascent companies. It's going to be fun to come watch them play. The other piece is the investor and entrepreneur track. So, in the sandbox, I talked about all those different villages. Well, they have a whole track dedicated to having some more deep dives into those kind of security issues that are reflective of what you see in the sandbox. Additionally, we've created, and because we believe in this platform, we've created a whole track for the investors and entrepreneurs, and it's definitely worth watching and seeing because it's talking about like where our VCs investing tomorrow. and how do you start a company kind of thing. So if you're interested in this kind of content, we've definitely started to support you more.
And I want to make a point about that I've done in general. Like when you go to this conference, you're really looking into the future more and more. It's not about, maybe, years ago it was like, oh, this is happening, this is what was going on, this is what we need to take care. Now it's more like, this is what we're going to have to look into 5 years from now, 10 years from now, even 2 years from now. Technology goes so fast.
Right.
And the fact that the villages are there, you have submission, even when you were listing the competitors,
Right.
different angles is not all like technology company. Is any company that uses technology, and we live with that. The DARPA city is the perfect example of that. Is to show, yeah, you know what, you don't know, but you are actually interacting with cybersecurity right now, in any moment when you drive around smart cities. So I just love this overview that you guys are having and bring it to everybody. I wish normal people, like by normal I mean not non cybersecurity, the everyday people, would get a little bit more to experience what we do at RSA conference, because it's really important. So that was my yay fan.
I feel it. I feel the love.
Well, we're fans. We're fans, and I guess to that point, do you have any insights into kind of, has the types of attendees shifted? Because you're talking about people who want to start companies, and where, I don't know, maybe in the past it was primarily practitioners and security leaders that were mainly interested in what was going on. Do you have any insight into who comes to the sandbox and participates?
So, as you know, RSAC is really trying to broaden the lens and to offer an opportunity for anybody to actually take a look at what's happening in cybersecurity. And whether you are a penetration tester or you're the CISO of a company, there is something there for you. And this is why we built out these different areas, and we want to engage with people in them, because we want to make sure that somebody finds their space and they can be comfortable in it. It's important that the dialogue is interchangeable between the different facets of our community. If you think about cybersecurity community, just like even in the last 10 years since I started talking to you guys, how much it has changed, how much broader it is as to who actually should come. I don't want to sound like a salesperson, but good Lord, we're like, you have not just the policy people or the legal people. I mean, everybody, every facet of your life is connected to something that can actually benefit from learning how to be more safe by coming here. So I love the fact that you're calling it out. I think it's great. And I think that we're trying to build those kind of opportunities to make cybersecurity a little bit more accessible to everybody, and whatever level you're at, have a little something for everybody.
Yeah, I still get those things. Just one happened the other day. I think I told Sean, and I went for some audiology test, and this guy is a young guy. It's sharp. It's a technician, and I said, what do you do? I'm like, yeah, we do cybersecurity podcast. It's like, oh, cybersecurity. It was kind of like, oh my god. It's like, I use a VPN. Is that enough? I'm like, it's a good start. But as a personal level, I mean, but it's still out there, like it's this mysterious thing. And I think we need to do that job of really making it understandable for everybody, because it's not just the cybersecurity community, but it's the community within the society that we can do a lot. And I know that there are some talks and sessions this year that are about that, like bringing our knowledge to friends and family and other people that are not necessarily expert, and they don't need to be. So
Right.
they
They just have to be safe. We just have
Exactly.
to, we all have to play our part in making sure the whole society is safe.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's that whole track series. There's track series of speaking to the common good of folks, right? I think Chris is part of that. Chris Pearson.
Yeah.
So, anything else, Cecilia, that you want to highlight that we didn't touch on yet? I mean, the whole sandbox thing is probably my favorite because you get to interact, right? Like the ICS Village has stuff that is industrial
A
control.
little city in itself that you can play
Right.
with.
Yeah.
You can break. Yeah, go check out and you can break windmill.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, so if you're asking me about the rest of conference,
Mm.
the whole conference itself this year is so broad. I think the part that is most important for me to, I guess, tell everybody is don't worry. If you didn't catch it at conference, it's online. And we've worked
Mm.
really hard to build that bridge so you can see everything you need to see. So there are like 600 speakers. There are 600 vendors. It's, take your time, walk through it, make a plan. Like that's the only other thing I can tell you is you get out of it what you put into it. I often tell that to my security scholars. I'm like, you guys, as we're like looking at what you're seeing and who you're going to meet at the different dinners and different activities, it's if you prepare and you show up with a little bit of a game plan, you'll get a lot more out of it. So that's my advice. How's that? Just a little
I think
advice.
it's a great advice. Don't be like Marco and Sean. That's my other advice, because besides all the conversation we have already scheduled, there is more like, hey, we got half an hour. Where are we gonna go? And we just
Right.
like,
But at
let's
the
do
same
that.
time, there is serendipitous meetings. I mean,
I
that's,
know, but like I
it's
said,
always con.
we feel home when we go there. I mean, and I'm very, very excited this year, even more than any other time. And I feel like I am going in a place where I know everybody, I know a lot of people, and I'm excited to meet the new one. But I do feel that I remember the pressure of the first couple of times. It could feel overwhelming. So don't feel like that. But I agree with you. Make some plans and just ask. I think anybody there, including ourselves, if you have a question, and we're happy to help. And I think everybody in the community is happy to help. So
Yeah, that's the best part about our community. Everybody
it
wants
is.
to give back.
It is. All
Yeah.
right.
It is like coming home, Marco. I do
It is.
feel that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Sean, we're ready to drive.
I've been ready to roll for a long time.
I know. And we are already rolling. So I'm going to invite everybody to stay tuned with On Location with Sean and Martin and Marco Cippelli. This is about, of course, RSAC 2025, San Francisco, April 28, my first. And I'll be there. You
I'll be
guys
there.
will be there.
I'll be there. So excited to see you there, Cecilia, and the rest of the team, and the whole community coming together. Thanks for all that you do with all this innovation-driven work that you've pulled together, and the teams and the companies that have the cool stuff to share this year.
Well, thank you guys for what you do, because it's the consistency of getting out in front of this audience and helping them understand how they belong that you guys do that I really appreciate. So feel the love, people. Come, feel the love.
Come on, let's go. Get on the train. Come
Get on
on,
the
it's leaving.
train. Woo
It's leaving
woo.
the station. Let's do it. All
With the
right.
sandboxes.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Sean,
Marco.
we are here to deliver a message from the RSA conference team.
It's an important message from our friends. RSA Conference 2025, just around the corner, where insights drive action, solutions emerge, and community connections spark innovation. You'll be there. I'll be there. We invite everybody else to be there April 28th through May 1st. You can secure your spot at rsaconference.com/ITSPMAG25. That's ITSPMAG25. See you all there.
I'll be there. See you there.